I mean, short episode this week, right?
It's a reasonable. It's a reasonable length. All right. Anyway,
Way.
there we go.
I see it.
That's definitely how KMR was looking at his birthday present.
Oh wait, I'm the one who took this one, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess I see the iPhone thing on the bottom. I thought I edited that out. Oops.
You thought you edited what out?
iPhone thing at
Oh,
the
the
very
bar at the
bottom.
bottom. Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all good. All right. Now I'm ready. Let's get started.
All right, right, right.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number 234. We had a very exciting morning.
Oh yeah, yeah. That did happen.
So it happened at it started at what 6 a.m. Pacific time. So for me, I was dead asleep at that point because I was up late, like posting all of the six info for GB Versus, and then I woke up and the rest of the team was just like, "Hey, game's been out for a while. KMR posted something about his birthday. What happened?" I'm like, "Oh,
Happy birthday, KMR.
happy birthday, KMR. Here's a 6-hour outage."
Oh.
Like that cannot have been fun at all. Anyway, all right, let's get to the actual beginning of this show. So, welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number 234. The title is "Happy Birthday, KMR" because it is actually his birthday, at least here in the West Coast. Still, um,
Woo.
this is Vibrating Shape of Granblue_EN, and with me, as always, friend and first officer.
This is DJ. I'm not behind him this week.
Yeah, there have been a decent number of those episodes, and now I'm actually gonna have to like have a separate setup just for that. Anyway, originally this episode was going to be only about this update, but you know things happened this morning. We had to talk about them. But let's go talk about what we are going to be talking about for the whole episode. This one is dedicated entirely on this update from 4:30 on July 8th. It is 6 weapon uncaps and 21 EMPs. And so these things are small changes, but they have big ripple impacts on the game. So let's go through them. All right. So step 1, the red sphere.
My note in here is, why is this just a better Caladonda?
Which one's Caladonda?
Levy Malice fire weapon.
Oh, yeah. So right now there were, there were 3 major sources of progression. One was to have Karak the Mugen Harp, which is, a grand weapon, so
Yeah.
The next was the Dark Opus, which takes the spot of a stamina weapon. So you usually only had progression on it if you were main-handing it. Usually. Not always.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Caladanda, which the entire reason to farm Levy Malice for a lot of people was like, oh, farmable progression for fire, and I don't have to put it on Opus.
Yeah, it's also had medium crit, so you can actually get yourself to 100% crit.
And now it's pretty good. This
Yeah, look,
red
it's on
sphere.
Solaire instead of just crit. It has attack skill.
So yeah, it has attack, it has crit, it has mystery, which is going to be pretty good once the skill update comes in.
You want to know something also funny for main hand purposes? When
Refresh.
you main handed Caladonda, it healed you for 1500.
Total?
That's as much. Yes, that's as much as one turn of refresh from the red sphere.
And that you get it for 3 turns total. You get 4,500 off of this thing because it's basically blue sphere
And now it has uplift.
to the team. Instead of let's see, the Blue Sphere one is mirror image and is it refresh or revitalize on Blue Sphere?
Pretty sure it's refresh. Let me check.
It's refresh. So yeah, this is a really good main hand. It's not like Fire Staff had that many main hands to think about. Like most of the Fire Staff main hands I can think of, like people were using the Colo staff for a very long time,
Yellow me
and then I use a Kanabo. like,
is if you're playing that class, Kanabo is really good.
hmm and so yeah, like this Red Sphere update is pretty sick. Like it doesn't change things around, but it gives you more options.
This makes me sad about my anniversary ticket. That's all it does.
What was your anniversary ticket?
Caladonda.
Oh, right. Right.
Yeah. Oh
Unfortunate.
well.
So, do you actually have Fire Drang yet?
I have one copy of his weapon.
I think that's more than I do. So, good luck. Good luck.
I got him right after his event came out,
hmm
and I haven't got another one since. But that's just this game in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Sometimes you get like 5 dupes. Sometimes you get nothing. You just let it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I got so happy for the SSR ticket from the Sauna event because it gave me my fourth Arsene. I'm like, the content just came out where this thing is amazingly relevant.
And about my ticket, it gave me Lucius, the new one.
Oh, nice. Lucius is super fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Water Zeta weapon, the Arvis Demi clone. So, um, on CA for this one before, you got Chaser on your main character. Then at 4 stars, the CA upgrades to granting your MC guaranteed triple attack. It's a spear.
Yeah, you cannot boost this.
Um, it's all right.
Blows. All right, I guess.
So blow is a really so in the team where you are using blow, it's the Luchador Zeta Summer Lucio Onre team, and it does the exact same job that Vice Shadle does in Dark. The problem is Vice Shadle is extremely farmable,
This one is a gotcha weapon.
and it has Trium and it has small attack, and
Yeah, it's not that great.
so, like, I can see people using it in order to boost up those two in exactly 2 turns that, or, 4 turns if you keel in it, that the Summer, Lucio, Andre, and Zeta team is godly.
And wait for the Trium update. Yeah.
But yeah, mostly I can only see this getting used in that specific situation, and so if you are lucky enough or dedicated enough to have all of the resources to uncap this, and go for it. But you're doing it to do the job of a proving grounds weapon.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on from this one. It makes me sad.
All right, Heart of a Songbird.
It was expected.
The part where we were just like, all right, it already has mystery, and now it has Excelsior also. It's like,
And yeah, that's it.
didn't
That's
you
a,
actually didn't you actually call this one?
I mean, every time I see big attack and mystery, I always call Excelsior because it's like the safest guess. I think the only time it wasn't true was Lucius Sword.
hmm Yeah, so the only thing about this that I'm interested in is seeing just how many of these like Excelsior and mystery weapons you'll need to hit the new CA cap up maximum once they do the skill unification. But yeah, I
I
don't.
mean, there's a lot of isn't there a ready Excelsior weapon in Earth that's readily available?
Are you talking about the All Might Spear?
Is it Almighty Sphere? I probably.
Yes, it's Excelsior.
Yeah, so it's not really needed per se.
No, not needed. And then the thing is that since it's a harp, It's a harp that gives refresh and has unworldly damage, and it's just like, I guess this can be the the Rising Force main hand, except that there's no real reason to be a Rising Force in Earth right now,
Really, you know.
because for all the things that Earth has, it doesn't have Bonito, which is one of the main things to do with Rising Force in water. It's like Rising Force in water with Dante. All right, keep moving on then. Eighth point of the flock. This one, holy cow!
It's pretty good. Yeah.
All right, so it had to be pointed out to me, and it still gets me every time, that the eighth point of the flock is an axe. It is not a spear main hand.
And we just add that to the trivia thing.
But the part where it's an axe main hand and not a spear is actually really important in current Granblue, because it means you can have it as your main hand as a lumberjack.
That's pretty good. Although lumberjack, if you're just aiming for a multi attack, you don't need this. But the 4-star CA where you get 10% chaser, it's kind of nice.
So, well, here's the thing also, is that all of the harp main hands that I have as a lumberjack, a lot of them grant multi-attack to the team. Like the Grimnir harp grants multi-attack to the team. The Rise of the Beasts harp grants multi-attack to the team. So this is already just like taking what they had and making it better for main hand stuff. Let's see here. What's the astral weapon for Wind give on CA? Is that just regular attack up? Let's take a look at the Innocent Love. I have to remind myself. It's crit. It's crit and elemental attack up. And so yeah, I mean, this is one of the best wind lumberjack like main hands right now, because it's like it's this and the Katura weapon that are essentially the go-tos. Bavinius, and Bavinius is all defensive because it heals you and it gives you armored on CA. But yeah, so anyway, the eighth point of the flock. It gets Covenant. It's the second element with Covenant. Conveniently enough, it was also the second element to get a character who can quad attack.
Yeah. Talking about Albert.
Yeah, Summer Elbear. But yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, this thing's good. This thing's real good.
I don't think he'll stack with his triple attack supplemental though. So that's just one of those like nuances.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he just doesn't get benefited from the CA half the time.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but given that it gives the entire rest of your team 10% bonus damage and it gives everyone multi-attack, it's like, all right, if you got this one, flaunt it because it's a good one. And once again, it's helped by the fact that you fooled me. It's not a spear main hand. I was like, who would use this as a spear main hand? It's fighting with so many things. Like, oh, it's an axe. That makes it so much better. All right. Moving on to Yukata Rosamia. So this one's new, isn't it, Champion?
I think Champion's new, yeah. Well, it's also one of the first things that actually goes off Crest as a main hand.
Mm-hmm. As opposed to just granting them?
Yeah.
All right, so Official's GTA is a sword. It competes in light with a lot of really good swords to be a main hand with, because you have the Xeno sword, which gives your entire team uplift and also blinds the enemy. You have the Opus, which grants crests, and so in order to
other things depending on your what's it called, your pendulums.
Mm-hmm. And so this thing on CA gives you a crest, and now it says when it's your main weapon and you have 5 Aurora crests, then it does a nuke, and it does essentially it uplifts your entire team when you have 5 crests. The thing is
Not
that Light
hard to get.
Light has an extremely trivial time getting to 5 crests. So I mean, this is just you're giving up a couple of other main hands. So it's like this replaces the Xenosword main hand pretty outright if you have it, because you just always have 10% uplift instead of just turns of uplift once you have those 5 crests.
Mm-hmm.
How fast does Aglavale get to 5 crests? Is it like turn 2 or something?
That's all I know.
It's super fast. Yeah. Anyway, um, yeah. So that's a good one. That's one that I'm very very interested in seeing how they do champion in the future, because I'm really curious about putting champion in water. Just do it. That's the other team that I have that has like crests coming out the yin yang.
It makes these really good effects that they just put on are pretty good, but once again, those two weapons are kind of hard to come by.
Yeah, I mean, some are limited character, some are limited character, as opposed to these ones which are always available characters.
Fear that was dope. I like Red Fear.
You like the what?
Fear.
Oh yeah. All right, and then the ruling pen. So
I feel like the joke at this point is if it has blind on CA, if it upgrades, you're gonna give it accuracy down.
I mean, yeah. And so it goes up to medium crit from small crit, which is nice. I mean, that helps it. It's big attack, medium crit, and then on top of that, it gets craft. So the dark crit team, which is like 2 Babel Mandebs, and then your choice of like what 8 other weapons or something crazy. It gets support, and if you want to use an Anubis staff in this whole thing, then you have even more chances to give yourself crit via weapons that you've picked up along the way while playing Granblue Fantasy. Like, I personally don't have a full Bloody Scar or a Soul Eater yet, so I'm just still waiting on making dark crit.
Mm-hmm. Dark Signals and crit.
Mm-hmm. And so yeah, this is another thing in that list that you can do, as opposed the so for the purposes of it being a katana, like the I don't know. There's not that much competition. I guess there's Lucius Katana.
Wait, it's a katana? Hold on.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Nope.
Wait, hold on. It's not a katana.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I'm looking at the
They,
wiki. It says melee.
it says melee, which has even more. So the in-game news does not have that. The in-game news has it as a katana. Okay, as melee, there's way too much competition. You're not gonna main hand this.
Yeah, right now in my inventory, it's melee.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, game. Thanks for leading me astray.
I mean, it looks like it's a katana, right? For Harvard, probably katana.
We're gonna keep moving. Let's just keep moving. All right. So then we have 21 EMPs to go through, and we're gonna try and give each of them its fair shake. Although some of them will just say, "Yeah, okay, let's move on." All right. You ready for this list?
Yeah, let's go through it.
21 of these. So Light Danua.
Oh, she needed this one actually.
She has a chance to convert turn-based damage to HP recovery. And by chance, I mean at 3 stars, it's 100%.
Oh, that's really nice because of Blood Sacrifice.
So she has the Grandalfon passive, except that and then when she has Blood Sacrifice on, like she really does have the Grandalfon passive because she can't be healed during Blood Sacrifice. And so anyway, yeah, like it just has her heal herself for 10% every turn. Like the character just essentially becomes nigh invincible in a lot of situations. Like when we were talking about her last time, she was up against Geisenborger for the Enmity team, who just keeps himself alive forever as long as you just keep buffing him. There's what is it? Gawain, who just sustains himself for long enough that you kill whatever that you're fighting, because Gawain did a ton of work in against the T-Rex, and then
Hmm.
Donowa didn't really have a place.
How'd you play Emily and lied? I guess.
It was
Yeah.
so hard to use her, but yeah, now
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 she
she just
lives.
she just full autos Fediel now on her own basically.
That's funny. I actually
She
like that.
she has a job. She has a job to do, and it's fun. So good job, Donowa. This EMP was a huge boost to you and very important to your kit and design.
You know, you don't really care about her second ability. If it happens, it happens.
Hmm. All right, Jin, the SSR version of him. So this character's problem was ramp time, and also the fact that so what he actually gets is chance to gain one martial spirit on using CA, and even if that's 100% though, martial spirit isn't really that great for him. Like it's a 15 to 20% CA damage cap up when he CAs. So as it is, he has to either take damage or is that the only way he does it?
The only way he gains if he takes big damage or if the enemy CA's while vigilance is up.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, the reward for it is so low until you get to 5, at which point he gets 50% meter gain.
Hey, quick as a blade does allow him to remove a buff from a foe. Remember when that was rare in Earth?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Like he used to be a dispelling machine, and then yeah,
yeah,
that,
and then
that was
yeah,
that was his only thing really. Like that was all he did that was useful. And so I don't see this one pulling him out of the boneyard where he currently resides.
you
All
like
right,
them, people use them.
yeah, he has a use. Like he is a non-limited character who can dispel multiple times. So that has that has a niche. It's just not a good spot to be in for him.
Yeah,
All right, moving on to Light Ilsa. Light Ilsa, I love this character. She has a chance to gain a war fund on pressing a linked skill. So war funds are the thing that fuels her end of turn effect. And so if she used Call to Arms, which she's going to have on let's see. So sorry. If she has Call to Arms, which is her full auto one, then you can just like let's see. At the end of the turn, it heals you, doesn't it? It is. It's eat a war fund
yeah,
to Guns RS, which will heal you and give you defense up.
up to 30%.
Hmm. And then yeah, like adding a war fund when you use a linked skill means just given that her um, CA resets the linked skill,
And the war fund.
yeah, then it just keeps going. Like the party just doesn't stop. And if you're playing her manually, then everybody gets that chaser, and you eat those war funds to get multi attack up. So it's like, all right, like it just makes her better at what she does, which was already a very good kit, and I enjoy this one. All right, ready to move on?
Let's go.
Wind Yodarha. So he gets a chance to boost attack with every normal attack, which is stackable. Um, do you use Wind Yoda at all?
I don't even know this character.
You do not know the character?
I don't have them.
Oh, you don't have him? So the whole thing about Wind Yoda that makes him so attractive to people is that he can attack out of turn, and he has the Yoda effect of being able to triple attack at a cost. Like he can force himself to triple attack. It's his natural state of being. The main thing is that in like as fits his like I'm prepared to die uh, flavoring for his wind version. Um, he eats his max HP for it. So anyway, so Like giving him attack up on on the normal attack, it'll proc a lot. The thing is though, he does so much damage that the attack up part won't matter. Like
I see.
whenever I press that button on him, he's double striking, he's triple attacking, and he just is already capping because he's in wind and he has full hit points and he's, you know, on stamina and I'm swinging. And it's just like, I guess for some people it could be useful, but honestly, if you have Yoda on your team, you're capping. You're just he's just gonna cap. So this one's
No
not one of them.
assassin. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess it only I guess it matters for his assassin if you're not capping his assassin strike. I don't know, man. We gotta move on.
Uh,
We gotta move on to Skathaha, Valentine's. You use this character a lot, right?
you'll
Or
use it a lot. The party got too crowded.
okay. So her new EMP is the what was it? Is it boost to healing specs?
With the healing spec. I mean, it helps but the thing is, once you get to higher HP values, you can't keep up on your how much you use on Follow Your Heart.
Yeah, and the thing is that her heal that actually matters is one that just heals your entire party to full anyway.
The other one where when she's below 25.
Mhm.
I mean, it'll help you keep out that threshold for a while, I guess.
Yeah, so this one really doesn't move the needle for me. So I hear in your voice that it doesn't do it the same for you either.
It's nice. It's not you gonna change anything.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, moving on to Valentine's Grimnir, which is reduce Earth damage taken by allies.
You couldn't give him anything else, otherwise people will say it's broken.
Yeah, I mean it's good on defense. We're gonna keep moving. So Water Leisha, boost to triple attack based on the number of opponents' debuffs. Um, when this EMP was on Shalem, it was up to 10% triple attack as three stars. That's pretty efficient. As just three stars in your EMP grid.
Yeah, considering that she causes random debuffs along with everything else, it's all right.
So this is good for those people who frontline Water Leisha. I don't know how many of those people there are because
Exists.
they're out there somewhere. So those of you out there who don't just use Water Leisha as an extra like 1 million damage from the back row,
All right, I'll give you something, Dom.
what's up?
Our Babel.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Because she was in the back line, and then you switch over to her be a front line.
Yeah, it's fair. All right, yeah, but yeah, I mean, Water Leisha, she's mostly in the back line for those few occasions where she is in the front line for you. When you're not using someone like, Fior or Doug or backline Maria Teresa to get your minus attack, minus defense, then it works. All right, we're moving on. The bestest trends. Vania and Melinda.
Slight chance to winter cut skill cooldown on every normal attack. I mean, that skill's decent. It doesn't work 90% of the time, but it's decent.
It's a very low chance.
It's nice.
It's on what? It's on Noah. It's on a couple characters like that. It's nice when it happens.
I think it's on Vera, if I remember correctly.
Because the thing is that, like, the reason that you use Vania and Melinda a lot of the time is because they have a higher damage cap than normal on their CA. They have Unworldly on their CA.
Yeah.
And so, honestly, like, you don't normal attack with them that often. So once again, we have run into the same question with, like, Leisha, where it's like, who's using them frontline? It's like, you know what? If you're doing that, this makes them better in the front line. So you do you, because their cooldowns honestly do have a really freaking long timer.
787, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when it happens, it's gotta be nice, probably. It's just that in most cases, you don't bring them to fights that last more than like 2 turns.
But hey, you get more dragon fruits
Yeah,
as a
it's true.
result.
That's a lot of dragon fruit, and by a lot, I mean yeah. Let's see. You start with how many? You start battle with
No.
2, and it
You get
uses
one
2 to
turn.
CA.
Yeah. If you get hit, you lose 2, but you also get hostility down at least.
Mm,
Okay, you're not bringing this to a hard fight.
yeah. All right, we're gonna just move on. Ray, we're gonna just copy paste what we said from Valentine's Grimnir. It's when
All
she's
right,
in
moving on.
yeah, when she's in the front line, she reduces light damage taken by allies. Yeah, okay. That's not what you have her there for, but if you did give her almost anything else, then it would be too good. Summer Tina.
And I'm like, why did you give this to her?
I don't know.
I
They
really
just
don't know why.
they just gave her the same triple attack up when you when you have debuffs on. Like she has what, 2 debuffs herself?
4.
4? Okay. 'Cause-
Blind burn. If they're already blinded, also give gravity. If they're already burned, give X3 down.
okay. I mean, it's
She does have 4 Devo success nodes.
that's true. She has a lot of debuff suck. Um, it's a thing. Like when you're bringing her to what you're bringing her to is mostly fights that you're going to you're expecting to take a long time anyway because she's mostly a full auto healer. So, I mean, more power to her. Like when you do use her, she is front line, and this helps her. All right. So this one is a really funny one to me. So Mugen, chance to survive at 1 hit point when he takes lethal damage.
That's funny because usually half the time I see him in most people's parties, he's there to die.
Like you use him frontline, so
Yeah, I use him because I want meter every turn.
so yeah, you use him frontline. Does he is he really seriously threatened in a lot of the content you do?
No,
Okay. So like the 2 use cases for Mugen are, he's frontline and you either UE-sys him into blue mode or you just be- uh, benefit a lot from his buffs, and then at some point somebody goes red because you're doing like a semi-hard thing, and he'll go blue. I don't see where this fits in either of those styles. It's actively bad for sacrificing him to Chaos Caliber on turn 2.
yeah. I mean, if you're bringing him specifically for that, you're not buying the EMP.
Yeah, the good thing about this is that it's 100% optional. So,
However, does technically help you a little bit in like super hard content where you actually still want him alive, since his substitutes all substitute.
hmm so yeah, sometimes he'll eat a Skyfall or a Paradise Lost for you and live. You just can never rely on it ever happening.
Yeah. But them's the breaks.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on from Mugen. That one's pretty funny to me, where it's just like it's nice when it happens, but you can never ever rely on it, and sometimes you don't want it to happen because like it feels like if I got Mugen, his number one use case would be to sub all, die, will buff the party permanently before he died, and then bring in Frau. So anyway, we're moving on. So Waterstorm. Um, Waterstorm, chance to boost attack with every normal attack. I use her in short-term teams because she has CA reactivate on herself.
This is technically just to put her closer to her fire version with the same ability, but on a mode switch.
hmm So, like,
I mean, she's not bad.
she's
Like
not.
outside of the winter and stuff, she's actually pretty good.
She is a very good character. It's just one of those things where like stacking attack up is one of those things that you barely notice, and it doesn't proc very well. So, like, there's nothing
She
to
can
do here.
technically always triple attacks if you give them a buff.
which she can do. She has a button that does that. All right, moving on. Fire Drang. So Fire Drang actually does a ton of work, and when he CAs, was it? Let's see. Let me make sure my notes here.
Every time he CAs, he cuts his skill 2 by 1 turn, which is
Which
pretty big.
because it's his dispel cancel and it's give a character dodge all, and it's on an 8-turn cooldown. And so this being on like effectively a 6-turn cooldown with the rate at which you gain meter, it's pretty big. It's pretty
He
good.
gives it to Mugen
Yeah.
while he's substituting all.
What is the cooldown on Mugen substitute?
Looking back again.
Mugen substitute is a 6-turn cooldown.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, that sounds like it lines up pretty well. That has potential. I really like this update. Alright, Haria. So, Haria is a character that has been pretty maligned from her release. Mostly I see her in order to raise the damage cap on Ground Zero. And that's pretty much her only use case. And then she gets supplement skill damage, and the character has a 7-hit nuke. So, you know, that was pretty good. It's just that and then her nuke has no cooldown. And
costs 3 dead fast.
Yeah, and it activates on CA, so this is a pretty big damage upgrade for her. It's like, is it going to mean anything? Is it going to change her position kind of at the bottom of the barrel? I'm not sure yet, but I am excited to try.
Sure.
Yeah, if you like Haria, play her. I like Haria. I have 40 EMP on her for some reason.
You know what the reason is. You already explained it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways,
4. Anyway, let's move on. So Meteor and Sali Lao, they also get the chance to cut their cooldowns on a normal attack. And the thing about these characters is that you really do want to normal attack with them.
And they have really long cooldowns.
And they have super long cooldowns.
Try slash and guaranteeing TA. That's a lot of chances to proc a cooldown.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I like this one. I will try making this one work. I only recently got them. They're not even level 80 yet. So I will attempt this one and come back to you. But yeah, the ones where they lower their cooldowns on attacking, you don't rely on those. However, maybe if they triple strike a lot, then we'll see. We'll see how if that actually like affects the proc rate or the noticeability of lowering the cooldown. All right. Speaking of maligned characters, we have Shura, who has one of the weirder kits in the game, because she has 50% self meter gain down, but she has 50 meter. She has 200 meter max, and has to press a button to CA.
Yeah.
It's really weird. And so her unique EMP changes her 50% meter drawback to only 30% meter down.
It becomes a regular meter down character, not a really bad meter down character. Yeah.
It's so weird. This is all so weird.
This character is... I think they really need to rework her kit, really.
I think they just need to rework this also.
Her kit's not that great. And I don't know anyone who actually uses this character.
And then the EMP makes her slightly less bad as opposed to good. All right. We ready to go to the entire other end of the spectrum right now?
All right, let's go.
The boy! Reinhardt Czar.
Yeah, give it to him.
I'm just going to pick this up right now real quick. Oh my god, I have so much EMP on him that I haven't used. I was saving up for this one, DJ. So, I should roll an earring until he gets supplemental damage on it. Anyway, so this character, who if he tanks for a while, will do 10 hits of very big damage. Um, what's the have you looked at like other people doing this stuff yet, DJ, or you've just seen the highest number possible on skill 3 for Ryan?
I just see the number is big, and that's all I know.
The number is enormous. It's like 22 million or something like that. And then they gave him supplemental skill damage, and it's 30k each. And so that's
Fine.
what was it? Is it 30k? I think it was 30k.
30k for a 3-star.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
it's casual 300k damage on Reki Unleashed, and more on just like prominent his other button as well. It's it's definitely a thing.
Oh,
Oh
remember he can't attack for 3 turns.
yeah, he earned it. He definitely earned it, especially since he has to actually get hit for those two.
Fine.
He earned it. He deserves this. He deserves it. He deserves the world.
There's other fire characters that have skill damage. Oh wait, there's a lot. Anyways,
All right, so we have ourselves. Next up was Fire Gun with Ilnot.
I'll not.
Ilnot's a fun like jack of all trades character because she can do a whole lot of different jobs depending on which button she pressed most recently. Um, and so I used her a lot for the combined delay and dispel, but removing all debuffs from somebody, giving them 100% meter, that's a pretty good button to press. And then what she has now is boost to multi-attack rate based on how many pieces she has acquired over the course of the fight, which is the
I guess
number of.
they're also to kill the city more.
Mm-hmm. But it eats all of her. But remember that she eats all of her pieces when she has 3. So 3 dopes. Is it 3 dopes? No, it's 3
3
3 pieces. So it's one of those things where it kind of reminds me of the old Izmir design, where it's like, yeah, each of these swords gives me more of the more damage and more multi attack. Okay, the swords are gone. At least this lasts more than the Izmir one, but still.
You also get it more often than his mere thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since she gets it on enemy special attack.
And just seeing normally.
Mm-hmm. So it has a higher uptime. It gives me bad memories of the old Izmir design. But still, like it's just free multi attack for her, so nothing wrong with it.
I mean,
She's a.
it's not like fire has that bad a time multi-attacking nowadays.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's this is a very fun character. I used her to beat Echidna Proud Plus because of all of the many things that she can do, and now she gets a little bit of a damage boost. It's nice, and a meter boost so that she can get more pieces again. So, I think that one's a good one. Um, Predator is one of those characters once again where we look at it and go, well, they couldn't have given her anything else. It would have been too good.
Again, just dodge. Yeah.
So yeah, she just dodges more. I mean, she needs it to live anyway, and it's not like it's
She's not dodging, she's dead. Let's be honest.
yeah. If she didn't dodge, she's dead. She just died. So she needs it. Will you ever actually use it? I don't know. I mean, what else are you using your EMP on? Do you really need her to crit? Like you're doing so much damage. All
I'm
right.
gonna get the other dodge stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she can have
Anyway.
3 dodge nodes. Let's go.
Anyways.
All right. So Light Percival, they reworked this character, and I've had to reread his rework like multiple times. I think you said you don't have him?
Not.
Okay. So the way that he works now is a little bit improved, but still he eats his own crests like a madman still. And so, it was sometimes Like if there was anything, if there were like supplemental stacks from base your Aurora Crest in the back line for something like that, then he wouldn't get to max Crest and stay there unless you were Aglavailing. And now, with the chance of getting an Aurora Crest on, is it normal attack? It is normal
Normal.
attack. Then he can feed up his Lord Strike a lot better. Because have you read what happens when Lord Strike is at 3 crests?
He gets the healing DA TA up.
Yeah,
And
it's a good one. And so it's really nice when you have that actually um, occurring fairly often, as opposed to just he as soon as he gets to 3 Aurora Crests, he goes back down to 2 and doesn't get back to 3 for a little while. So
Mhm.
yeah, and it's also you want him to have Aurora Crests in order to boost his own nukes. So yeah, I think this is a good one because it helps him keep his stack numbers up, and that's important for this character design. All
Yeah.
right, moving on. This is the very last one. We've shouted at each other a lot. This one is Satyr. Satyr's down here somewhere. Where did I put her?
One of the standard things of if you have a resource that goes away on using something, you have a chance of not using it.
Yeah, don't consume it, which is a very nice thing. Let's see. Let's say filter for fire primal.
Yeah, because
Okay, I
Romeo
found
had
her.
that. Yet had that.
That's why she's staff sword. I can keep forgetting that she's staff sword. Anyway, this character.
She uses right.
What was
A
that?
staff and a sword.
Yeah, that. Mm, mm, mm. Let's keep moving. So this character has so many good things that happen reactively, and um, when you get when you use Twinkle Stars, then um, like her heal is AoE. She survives her substitute when you have a Twinkle Star. Like there's a lot of things that she needs these stars for, um, and having a chance not to use them. Yeah, you were saying yourself, like it's even if it's only 50%, it makes a huge difference to the character on average. So she starts with, let's see here, she starts with 2, which is enough to press 2 of her buttons, and then um, let's just say that you're going to, a very common sequence for this character is that you use her substitute on Avant. The Twinkle Star is needed in order for her to actually survive the substitute. And then, because you're going to use her to eat an enemy CA action or something like that, then it casts her heal, which means that if she has a Twinkle Star, then it'll go to everybody. And then her substitute goes back on off of cooldown. That takes off a whole lot of Twinkle Stars to keep that cycle going. And even the 50% chance of not using one when she presses a button is huge. It keeps this character alive and ticking. So,
That's the only way to gather new Twinkle Stars is to actually CA.
mm-hmm. And so yeah, this is a huge update to this character. We have a crewmate who's a very big Satyr fan, and she is living. She is living right now. So good update. I should actually use this character at some point.
I mean, this is like I said, this is the standard one of has consumable. Just make sure consumable doesn't be used up.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
It's just like the thing is that unlike the other characters who have this, she doesn't easily get it back her consumable. So this is nice.
yeah, like Juliet and Romeo were 2 big ones for not using their resource when pressing a button. Like Juliet essentially stops being a character when she's out of spirits, and Romeo
Remember,
is
Romeo
like,
was actively bad when he had no spirits.
mm-hmm,
They got rid of that part at least.
yeah. So overall, there were only like a couple of those EMP updates where we just sort of looked at them and said this is not a good one. And so this entire round was pretty good. Like even when for the ones where they didn't really change the characters, like this character was on your front line anyway. Don't lie to us. Um, I guess only like the bestest friends and Waterlisha were the big question marks for me. I guess Skathaha was one of those ones where we shrugged because she's been moved off of the front line, and this one didn't really do much to her.
I mean, if you like her, you use her, but
Hmm.
it's just one of those things.
So I think this was a really good round. I'm in favor of what they did for like at least 90% of these. Whew.
If
All
your
right.
character was too once again, if your character was too good, they probably didn't get anything substantial.
Hmm. And if your character was out, well, okay. So it's Shura. It
I was to
is
say,
Shura. I think was the worst. Was the worst of these characters, and is still bad. But okay, you know what? I'm changing the number. It's 80%. 80%, which is still pretty good for an update of this size.
I now want to watch the Donua video of her soloing
Fediel.
uh video.
Oh, do I have that character? Hold on. Let's go take a look. Inventory. So let's go check for light dagger. I do have her. Let's go. I can finally full auto Fediel without just like having Grandalfon stand there for 80 turns or however long it actually takes.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was funny.
Nah, I'm not about that life anymore. I have other things to do with my background processes or my phone. All right, that's it for this week, right? I mean, Proving Grounds is going on right now. Um, this is all reruns of weapons, so it's just like this is a chill one.
You get your SSR ticket from Proving Ground.
Yeah, get your SSR ticket. Mm, if you're like me, you're most excited about the gold spell books because you have transcended eternals to feed, and those things are not cheap.
Definitely not cheap. I'm still only working on one right now.
Oh my god, it took so long to get Fiora to 130. Anyway, um, next week we will be talking about the next portion of Corigro, which was the announced um, what was it? It was the announced skill unification. We've mentioned it a few times, where they're going to not just put all crit onto the same skill, but they're going to do a whole lot to improve the visibility of how skills affect your party. So we'll talk about that next week. We punted it like 2 weeks into the future because, I mean, it doesn't have a date on it yet.
Nope.
So, I mean, there's really nothing to do about that one. Anyway,
All we can do is talk about it.
yeah, and there is a chance next week that we will have the first, the next set of new, um, like swimsuit or yukata characters, but I'm not gonna bet on it. Um, so until then, we'll find out. We'll see when it hits. Until then, thanks for joining me, DJ. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Can't wait to see actual numbers for grids. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that when it comes up. All right.
Yeah, that's about
I,
it. All
I
right, catch
changed
you guys
back and I
later.
see the KMR face again. Happy birthday, KMR!
KMR.
You drink plenty of fluids. Hopefully not ones that the actors made for you to kill you.
Look. Okay, it was funny though.
It was really funny. To be fair, it was really funny. Um,
There, it was funny.
yeah. But anyway, we'll talk to you next week about numbers. Until then, thanks again for joining me, DJ, and talking about this game that was actually. Did you actually try and access the game while it was down?
I
Or
played Princess Connect again instead.
oh, that's right, you had English Princess Connect. Yeah, I couldn't Princess Connect. I woke up and I turned to Princess Connect, and it was just like cannot connect. I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And then I look at Discord and everyone's like, everything's on fire. I can only imagine what it was
Sometimes
like.
things happen.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it was like for the engineering teams at like 11 p.m. where just that pager goes off. I don't know if you've ever been on pager duty, DJ.
I don't want to be.
Yeah.
I actually no, I have, They just never called me.
Oh, but like you just dread that, bzz, and you're like, oh, son of a.
I don't want a phone call.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna close this off. Good night, everyone.